big, but way smaller than the 4K render. So it'll say 4K. But it's basically a 4K render, so it's really big. We can also, if we can stitch multiple fields of view together. We had this tile scan experiment. It used to be these fake channels. So we can define multiple fields of view and it'll tile or stitch them together. So we can mark a position right here. And it kind of shows you that field of view is marked. And then we can go to other positions and mark those. And then we end up with 3 positions marked, and to be able to get all those positions in view, you need to do a 2x4 and 8 images tiled together. And so I can do this a little bit faster. So do a Z-stack at each position, and then it'll merge them all together. Or like say merge, it'll merge.
Now that's just collecting the one wavelength, right?
Yeah, because I told it not to do other ones.
Okay.
It could do multiple channels, but
And when it does that, you'll have 3 windows showing up what it looks like,
yeah. So you'd have this. You have 1, 2, 3.
and each one will be its own color.
Yeah.
And then the other one will be them combined.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
you could have the merge right here in the 4th panel.
Okay.
Just if your sample's bigger than your field of view.
Yeah, yeah. You only have to do tile, or or if you just want like more of it. Right? So that's the merged image, the Z planes. You have a max projection.
And you can remember where you're at, so if you want to go back to one of the previous places you were at to do a different filter, you could do that easily.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because your positions are still saved in here. Any questions right now?
I had a question about moving on to your next sample. Like how much of the wizard do you have to go through again? If you gotta lift up that arm, move that sample out, put the next one in, and then put that arm back. You got to go through that whole wizard again.
Yeah, because the position of the sample will be different in Z than it was in the last dish. But you'll be it'll be less work because you'll be relatively close with all those settings as long as you've mounted it in a similar way. And as you get more proficient, the wizard doesn't take much time. But if I'm just here on my own, maybe it takes like 5 minutes to get it set up. File saving. So the way Leica handles data is in these project folders. So this is a project, and it's called project. I can name it to like Tuesday best group. And so this is the file that you'll see on the Windows Explorer. So if I save this to the data drive, it's 6.5 gigs already. Light sheet, doesn't care about data.
So how big are the drives so we know how much we can put on there before we have to worry about space?
They're big, but as always, I recommend backing up your data so it's not on one place. But the data drive is 11 terabytes.
Okay.
and it's a RAID 5 array, so they have data redundancy.
Okay.
That's all your data. Those are just normal spinning disk, not configurables, but spinning disk hard drives. That's your data stored. It's pretty fast because it is a RAID 5 array. The system, OS, everything is on its own single solid state drive, so don't save anything here. And then the temp drive, also don't save anything here. These are two solid state drives in RAID 0, so they're striped. So they're ridiculously fast, and everything that you have open in the LASX software, anything here is temporarily written to this hard drive, which gives you two things. Once it's opened in LASX, you can navigate through large data sets a lot faster because it's on a really fast drive. It's not in RAM, it's in a hard drive. And by being written to a hard drive, even if it's not like saved yet, if you like lose power because of like a storm, which never happens in Florida, then everything is still safe. Like if I just pull the power plug right now, then everything that's open is written to this temp drive. It's not in RAM, which is not, it's volatile. Once the power's back on, turn back on the computer of an LASX, everything will be here still. If it was acquiring image, it obviously won't acquire it anymore because you don't have power. But the data you have acquired will be there, and then you can save it to the data drive, which is really nice. So the data drive, so this is what we create. This Tuesday, that's group lif, it's a like an image file. That's all you need. This is other stuff. And so this is the 6 gig file. Within that are all these images, these stacks, time series, those tile scans. If you need to, so that's how I recommend, like, that's the raw data too. So never delete the lif file, because within each image in the lif file, in this lif format, is all the metadata for the image. So when it was acquired, start time, end time, X, Y, Z dimensions, pixels, voxels, and confocal, all the confocal settings, lasers, detectors, everything about the image is saved here. I can apply the settings and I can recreate the image. All this data is not saved to like the TIFF header because TIFF cannot handle this much data. It's only saved here. So definitely keep the raw data. If you need to export stuff, you can do it with this system. You can install this LASX software on any PC. It's free. You won't be able to do a lot of